Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Commentary is Magic's featured duel between E-Bugle and myself today. I am, as always, Grant Pause.
Good evening, everyone.
I am Emperor Bugle, the other member of the duel.
I am Aracat, fighting with audio issues. Sorry about that. And
I am the loving Living Silver.
It's good to have you back, Leo.
It's great to be back.
And this is an exciting stream, too. It's the first time we've been able to have our Patreon, or our patrons on Patreon, give their input and help determine what we were actually going to be creating.
Yeah, we both provided 3 decks, and everyone could vote on which matchup specifically they'd like to see. So there were 9 total possibilities.
And the results came out to be pretty interesting, for sure, if I remember correctly, and I sure hope I do. It wasn't that long ago. You presented. Well, why don't we say which options we presented, and then we'll say what the featured one was.
Okay, sure. I offered Fluttershy Nurturing Nature Blue Aggro, Scootaloo Orange Aggro, and Cruel Mistress.
Grandpa's, what did you bring to the table?
Well, I offered either Mono White Control, Ag Studies, which is Twilight Purple Farming, or Ravers Combo using Apple Vendor.
And if I recall correctly, we had a 4-way tie on the poll?
Yeah, it was.
But
no one patron wanted to see the exact, or no 2 patrons wanted to see the exact same match, but we had a few popular decks.
And I believe, as it turned out, the Scootaloo Orange Aggro and the Ag Studies decks got 2 votes each, although on different options. So,
though one of them was Scootaloo versus Ag Studies.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I believe that was actually Sonnet's vote.
Well then. Someone got exactly what they wanted.
Yep.
Well. But if those of you out there taking a look at this have opinions on this, you should hop in. Even at the $1 level, you get to vote on polls, and then you can make us do weird things like play weird decks like Ravers Combo.
Yeah, if you didn't like the decks that we picked, we'll be doing other polls in the future, and if you're a patron, you can vote. Have your voice be heard.
In fact, several of our patrons actually have the ability to play against us in their own featured duels with some special rules. So we'll probably have some of those matches coming up for you in the next month or so.
And at this point, I get to insert a wall of fine print about all the random stuff that needs to happen for that.
Yes, you do.
I personally hope someone picks the Ravers combo at some point. I'm a huge fan of that deck.
Well, the decks will... maybe Ravers Combo will be selected next time, but we won't always have the same things on the poll.
Yeah. For now, though, we are going to briefly mention our decks and the strategies that we plan on using, and then we're going to cut over to the duel itself. Now, as a disclaimer, this duel has already taken place very recently, but for the sake of making sure that the stream worked and Ara didn't lose his mind, we recorded that part in advance, and the commentary is all live and fresh. The people who will be commentating have never seen this duel take place.
Mostly. I wasn't paying that much attention other than just making sure it didn't burn. Although you say something about losing my mind, I'm pretty sure that's already gone. I think this was more for blood pressure than anything else.
Okay, that's fair.
With that, let's take a look at the decks that we will be seeing today. First up, we have Bugle's deck.
So I am playing a Scootaloo Orange Aggro. The premise behind the deck really is play some big friends, have them stay big, and confront or DFO reliably for as little AT as necessary. In addition, it has the double diamond trick, so you can have a up to 6 power Scootaloo main.
That's not cool. Or maybe it's
I
very
mean,
cool.
It's pretty good. That's
6
enough
power
to
mains that move for free. I like those.
that's enough to confront Ready to Fight on its own.
That's kind of
Yeah.
disgusting, I got to admit. All right. Let's then take it over to Grandpa's and take a look at what he's running.
So I'm running a deck that we've actually talked about before, which is Ag Steadies, or Professor Twilight Mono Purple Farming. It's not as aggressive as some orange farming variants, and it's trying to make up for that in a lot of the tricks that it has. So it's running several control tools like Napcakes, Destiny Drain, Zakoras, Frozen in Magicites, things like that. But the big thing that Purple has is AT efficiency or generation through Spike Take a Letter and Zakora, and also just has consistency in being able to find extra troublemakers through Sneak Attack and beat up those troublemakers even if your main isn't necessarily there.
Or if nothing is there.
Or if nothing is there sometimes.
Well, I mean, something has to be there, although it didn't have to be there until right before you were ready to take the troublemaker on.
Yes.
All right. So it's certainly going to be an interesting one. You know, these are somewhat unusual decks for their archetypes. We saw AJ Blue do very well at Gen Con, and of course AJ Farm did very well as well. But this is kind of showing that there's different things you can do with the archetypes. There's always room to be explored.
Okay.
So, Mr. Arcat, Master of Ceremonies, are we ready to go with the stream?
I believe we are ready to go with the stream. Are our commentators ready to go?
Ready?
And I guess I get to say ready. So with that, let's go.
Okay.
Present. Shuffling problem.
And hopefully on the stream you can hear us clearly as well as the table audio. We're doing something a little bit new here, so
2d6 for first.
If you're fine with rolling for both.
Do you have a
Grandpa's is
I have a non-countdown D20
so generous here.
easily accessible, so
Rolling for
I'll roll
Bugle.
for both if you don't mind.
As the commentator, it's
Alright.
really tempting to respond to the video.
It's a 9.
All right.
Next one's going to be you.
4.
It's a 6.
Oh, that's a 6. So
That is a 5 and a 1.
okay. There we go.
It's a 5 and a 1. What's the little thing on your die?
I saw your 6 and thought
It's
that was
a
1,
squirrel
So I thought you rolled
for
that.
Crazy Squirrel
was
Game
a
Score in
four.
Fresno. No, that's why I called it out as
Okay.
a 9.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. So I lost the die roll against a farm, so I get to lose, right? With Scootaloo.
No.
Of
not
course you do.
necessarily. I don't have that many troublemakers.
Double
in there.
trouble,
This is
turn
a
one.
Feather style.
This is interesting here. Of course, they're both opening
Besides,
with
remember, I
concerning
have to
cutie
dedicate
mark.
part of what I'm doing early. I can't
True,
just move
true.
up with AJ and be
There's
like,
both of the mains
look at
flip
me.
on confront,
Also,
of course.
One of us got to construct our deck from scratch, knowing what the opponent was possibly playing, and the other just had to make alterations.
I mean, I just took the deck list that I already put online.
I don't recall.
Literally, the only difference is some of the entry turned into Kevin's because I forgot Kevin existed.
How Bugle? How could you, Kevin?
All right, this hand
Kevin
fine.
is like
I'm
the
gonna-
only
I
good
am mulligan.
changeling.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
By which I mean he's still faithful to our queen.
Ha!
The other one's a traitor.
I'm also noticing the playmats here. These are the 2 most recent playmats from championships. One of them from this year's regionals, and then the other, of course, Bugle's
keep
championship
looking
map for
At all
continentals.
those Xerox promos and just thinking, man, I really need to find another deck that uses 3 of these again. Maybe I should just play Pile again.
Xerox being shorthand for Queen Chrysalis identity theft.
All right, there we go.
All right,
And we're off.
get yourself all situated. Let me know when you're ready.
We've been off
I am
for
good
several
to go.
minutes.
Cool. I'm gonna do the standard thing. Go ahead.
Not going to double trouble?
Gain Y2. Draw a card.
Can't
Well,
quite
I
see
guess,
what Grandpa's has in
I
his
will
hand
follow
there.
suit then. Actually, no, I will not. I will pay 2 and move Scootaloo up in case you play that truffle. Pass.
Sure.
Bugle sitting
Sounds-
here calling, making meta calls. Knows the Grandpa's might have a
Top to
truffle and
4
doesn't
and
want to
draw a
give him a
card.
free action token.
I'm going to spend 2 to move Twilight over to Concerning Cutie. And I'll just go ahead and play Join the Herd.
Oh, join. Okay, fair enough.
Well, that's one way to do it.
That's a point for you.
Yes, it is.
All right, and basically no one's surprised that both of them are getting their main slipped as soon as
I do
possible.
not.
They are both very critical
I
to the
pass the turn.
operation of their decks.
Take 2, draw. This hand is not good. We will play Red Gala and confront and flip and pass.
Good enough to flip the main.
Yeah.
And that's the disadvantage of using an immediate event to flip your main. Is now Grandpa's only has 1 character in
Okay,
play.
that's it.
Yep.
Although, to be honest, that's
Let's go to
probably
2.
fine given that he's using a farming strategy that might
Flip
end
my
up
card.
scaring lots of
To the main
things.
phase.
Twilight will, of course, still confront on her own.
This is true. As long as its Concerning Cutie Mark stays. Which, strategically, you would hope with a farming deck. Confront your
You
villain,
have no AT
easily
token.
confront.
Challenge.
Nope, I spent
Right.
as much AT flipping my main as you did.
I guess what I meant to say was defeating the villain points, and then confront for the points right after.
Mm-hmm. Although in some cases that could be a disadvantage, especially if
Also,
he's
one more
playing
for one.
epics that are not villains.
Okay.
The other thing too, if he has a buffed
Thinking.
Scootaloo at the other end of Concerning Cutie Mark, 5-powered Concerning, a
Leverage
5-powered
phase transition where
Scootaloo
you just get out the
would
first
start the
letter
phase
and then
off.
Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just confront.
All right. I'll take 3 then. Unless you have something you want to do immediate speed after you confront.
I do not.
Okay.
How many
draw a
nap
card.
cakes you got in there?
Confront pass.
Ooh, that is a bad hand. All right, up to 4. Draw
It's like a
and flip. So Starlight Glimmer Enforced Equality.
That
Sure.
is the one that makes everything
Boom,
2 power.
Surprise, I'm going to challenge.
2 versus 6.
Yes, sir. Flip to 6.
I flipped Carbo.
Oh, that's unfortunate for
All right, so you're
Bugle.
at 10, and I am currently at 8, so I will go
Yes.
ahead and spend 2.
Okay.
That would be
Yeah.
very valuable for Bugle to have in terms of making
Right.
Grandpa's spend more AT to make sure that he defeats those troublemakers, but it would appear that he's not going to get to play that.
Let's play a steady session.
Especially since he already has Earth Ponies in
Alright,
play.
30 seconds.
That would buy him some extra flips.
Confront for a point.
Okay.
Pass
That's
the
the
turn.
5.
And Study Session is out.
That's no, Bugle does not like that.
6 AT. Draw a card. Confront pass.
Okay.
For anyone not familiar with Study Session, every card that
Sorry,
Bugle
that's not
plays now,
entirely
that's a
true.
friend.
Confront
Grandpa's
discard
plays.
A
Ah.
double diamond.
Friends
then
will
pass.
interplay exhausted.
Ah, okay.
So
That's the
for-
big-
Full power?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have anything to mark that for
Okay,
my use of
so
remembrance?
Bugle
Just,
discarding a
Beads or AT.
double
Yeah,
diamond,
whatever's
I
easiest.
believe. Scootaloo
that's
now being at 4 power.
It's actually not Scootaloo, it's Flitter.
Oh, Flitter, my bad.
Okay, so I've got my 3 AT.
Yep.
I have not drawn yet, so I will
Didn't
draw.
know that Flitter had a blue card, or a main card for that matter.
Yeah.
So he's got 2 more of those in his deck.
Hey, at least you've played 3 cards this game.
Cloud Chaser is blue, Flitter's pink,
Let's make it 4 cards.
and occasionally Cloud Chaser is pink too, although she refuses to admit this.
Thinking here. Just doing math. Not combo math, just farming math.
Okay.
It's odd because Grandpa's is usually doing combo math.
Oh, hush. Oh, very good, Rayler. You got me. Rayler, of course, being our resident expert on blue-yellow.
Okay, yeah, I'm just going to pass there. And I'll go to 6, and we're
Okay,
getting
up
4
to
right now.
6. Yep. I will go up to 10 AT, which is a
Bugle.
lot.
Currently
It's a
at 3 points to Grandpa's is 6.
Draw a card. Maybe this card will be helpful. It will not. Okay. I'm going to pay 2 for a red Gala to my problem, exhausted.
Okay, sure.
Then I'm going to pay 2 to move Scootaloo to your problem.
Okay.
Bugle up to things here.
Squareface.
Let me think here. Yeah, sure. Squareface is good.
All right, confront.
Yep.
Grandpa's being okay with this. Clearly means he's got
And
something
face
in his
off.
hand.
I flipped a 4. I will move your non-exhausted red Gala back home.
Okay.
Oh,
I
that is
flipped a 2,
disappointing.
so I'm at 5 to your 7.
You are at
For a
6
single
myself,
confront
actually.
of 4
6 to your
power.
7. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will
It does
pay
knock
1
Twilight off the problem.
to bail out your main,
And-
discarding double diamond.
Okay.
Well, there goes
Well,
that problem.
You're
There goes the
definitely
easy
taking face off.
confront.
And Scootaloo's now at 5 power.
And
Scootaloo is now 5 power.
Oh,
Gross.
discarding another double diamond to the bailout.
Okay.
Scoots is
So
getting
win the
swole.
face-off. What's your new problem?
Currently sitting there at 5 power.
New problem is going to be seeking the scepter.
Seeking, really?
That's kind of
Oh.
unfortunate for a Bugle.
Well, we'll move Scootaloo
yeah.
to, we'll actually go ahead and move Scootaloo to Seeking the Scepter anyway.
Sits there and decides that.
Kevin goes on the bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
And we'll
There we
move
go.
Red Gala back up to Concerning Cutie Mark and pass.
That makes sense. Okay, so game 4 up to 6.
Yep.
Ah,
Main does
this
not
will
raise.
keep Scootaloo from confronting at that problem.
Step. Let's draw for turn. All right.
Well, given how,
Uncover a Trixie.
I suppose, okay Grandpa's was with the confront, he's
Before the
probably got
challenge
a
step.
trick. Lo and behold.
Play Bookish backup over to Trixie.
Okay.
I have the Figment token. All right. I would like to challenge Trixie.
Okay. 2 versus 6.
Yes. Sir. I have nothing pre-flip.
Nor do I.
Okay. I flipped a 5.
I flipped a
Oh,
3.
Grandpa's would have liked
Okay,
to see
so
that in his
9
hand.
to 7.
9 to 7. Yep. I'll go ahead and spend 2.
Okay. And gain the 2 right back. Sure.
No, I did not gain the 2 right back.
Oh, that's what you flipped. Sorry.
Yes. I
Silly
wish
Bugle.
I had that in hand.
Yes. Okay. I mean, I wish I had this Apple Bloom. Like, friends with abilities would be nice right now. Puts you up to 8.
It does put me up to 8.
Bugle
That
at
is
5
correct.
points to the 8 points on Grandpa's.
Main phase will spend 1, play a Troublemaker to Seeking the Scepter.
I am
Okay.
shocked and appalled that he would be playing Troublemakers right now.
Hmm. Hmm. All right, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'll save 1. Go ahead.
Probably not a
Okay.
villain on
So you're up
Grandpa's
to
problem.
8, correct?
8. That is correct.
Okay.
8 points.
1, 2, 3, 4. Puts me to 9 AT. That's reasonable. Ready.
Next
Draw
Studies is
turn.
definitely a strong deck. It was one of the
Okay.
ones Grandpa's was considering
Um,
for regional or for nationals,
1, I will play.
and I think we're
Turn.
seeing why.
Yeah, Turret Train is fine.
2, I will move Scootaloo to Terror Train.
Yep.
5 power Scootaloo will
certainly do it.
confront that alone.
Then I'll move to score phase.
You got it.
Confront Tyrix Rain, Frighten Figment.
Yep. Token.
6. Confront Cutie Mark, 7.
Yep.
Face off.
Uh-huh.
I'll flip Mac and Jack. Another spike take a
Ooh.
letter. Okay.
My AT generation in this game could be better.
I'll go up to 8 and
Ew.
cards will go home.
Bugle
will
bringing
go
them
away.
tied.
My new problem is 2 Griffinstone. Not too bad.
Oh, very nice.
Uh,
On the other
let's see,
hand,
what do I want to move there?
that is an equalist
I'll go
propaganda on
ahead.
Grandpa's
Well, I
side.
guess I'll wait and see what you've got propaganda. Okay.
Equalist.
Oh, that's a Seeking a Scepter.
Yeah, I'll move Red Gala.
They did just
to-
replace problems. Keep that in mind.
to 2
Bugle has not
Griffinstones,
yet.
then I'll move. Whoops, let's get your correct problem. We'll move Scootaloo to
This is going to
propaganda.
Heavily
and
disincentivize
exhausted
Bugle
Red Gala
from...
to Griffinstone.
Well, not with
Sure.
these bonuses, though.
Sounds good.
And that's it. I'm done.
That was a well-played dilemma, seeing
Mac and
that
Jack
Seeking the Scepter
did
was
be
going to be a
flipped.
problem for his main.
Scootaloo is currently at 5 power. Just
Mhm.
confirming.
She's currently at 5. I have 2 double diamonds in the discard.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Those are the only friends with abilities I've drawn.
Okay.
It's rather
Um,
unfortunate for Bugle
What is our
there.
point total right now?
I am at 8, same as you.
Okay, got it.
The Grandpa's appears to be
So I will go
getting
up to 5. Twilight Final Readies.
most of the things he needs, although he probably would have liked those 2
Draw a card
spike take letters.
and uncover a Nightmare Star.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. So now my Scootaloo will not be exhausting my friends.
No, they just get to move automatically. We're probably not going to let that happen. We're probably just going to play another bookish path.
Equalist propaganda is 6 to confront or 5 for
Okay,
the
I'll
opponent.
take
I
2
believe
to
it's
Rutherford,
6.
your backup. Let's see. Let's actually put Rutherford at
6,
equals
yes.
propaganda.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
Bugle saying
Sure.
he's not having any of that.
So the Figment is gone.
Scaring the Figment token before Grandpa's can get anything done with it. Oh, that is actually very
Let's
interesting.
see,
That's
so I've
illegal.
got 3 HP currently.
Bugle did not have the color rec for that.
Yep.
Oh,
We
right,
get a
right.
body.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Glimmer, not Nightmare Star. I'm
I'll
smart.
spend 1 and play a Troublemaker over to your problem during my main phase, and I'll pass the turn.
Okay. You have 2 left.
I have 2 left.
Okay, ready.
I mean, they're both basically
Ready.
evil, right?
Up
okay,
to
good.
8 AT. Draw a card. Seriously. Okay. Despite it probably being a losing endeavor, it might get you to spend some AT. So we will challenge Nightmare Star here. 7 versus 6.
Sure, sounds good. I flipped a 6.
I flipped a 5. So that sounds like 12 to 12.
Sounds like 12 to 12. You are up first for responses.
I have no responses.
I have no responses.
Okay, so flip again.
Yep.
Okay, I will flip a 5.
I flipped a 3,
Oh,
and
that's
I am
very
forced to banish my
unfortunate
study
for-
session. That's very unfortunate.
Grandpa's.
Oh, I like that. I am not going to be sad about that.
Okay, and you flipped another 5. So
Down
that is
2
all
power?
your bailouts.
That is all of the bailouts.
that will
Okay.
hurt.
I'll spend 1.
You'll spend 1. Okay.
Which will bring them tied.
This face-off has been okay so far. I will flip Lyra, so 2.
Okay, and I'll flip a Trixie, so 6.
Okay.
And that puts Grandpa's far in the
Let's see,
lead.
Who do we move home? It doesn't matter. We'll go ahead and move Rutherford, sure. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Moving
Yeah, that is
forward.
one of the problems with mysterious disappearance. Is your own resources are definitely at risk, especially with something as valuable as a study session.
Well, when you can score points, you should try and score points, right?
Within reason.
I mean, you should always try to score points.
Pay 1 for another
I don't know
Tyrix.
what he's doing with this whole
Pay 2,
confronting
move
thing, but
Scootaloo to Tyrix, and we'll pay
Oh,
2
dear.
to move Rutherford to Ravenstown. Then we'll move to score phase.
he's getting those dilemmas
sounds good.
exactly when he needs them.
Confront.
Yep,
I
that's
will-
fine.
choose not to activate Tyrix.
Yep, that's
9,
fine.
10, face off.
Uh-huh.
There's another
That
Mac and
works.
Jack.
All right,
Paws
so
will
we
be
get
losing
one.
that face off.
Okay.
Up to 11. Characters go home.
Yep.
Tyrix goes away. Ah, blackmail. Okay.
What's your new one?
I somehow put considering Q to mark on top of my problem deck. That's not correct. Ready to fight. Okay.
Got it.
It's kind of an interesting choice on Bugle's part here because he
Blackmail is
needs
unfortunate considering the friends that I've been drawing.
6 blue to confront
Okay,
that.
let's see.
And
I
then
was
Remove
assuming
2
that it was put in the
characters.
deck to go with Nightglider, overpowering.
yes, Bugle does have a lot of things that can help confront that, but at the
Do I
same
move
time,
up to that ready to fight
it's not
and actually,
maybe not
like,
the first thing I'd
try,
think
or do
of,
I
but
try
certainly a
and deal
valid
with this
choice.
Blackmail. What's a problem? Yeah, I'll.
It seemed to be thinking
I'll
more
move
towards
2
the end
characters
game,
to
I was
blackmail.
assuming, with
Okay.
winning a face-off
Pass.
by greater than 5. Which, against any other deck, would be
Winning
pretty
a
reasonable.
problem
but
Okay.
face
So I
off.
will gain 5, go up to 6.
yes, problem face-offs. Yeah,
Yep.
which is what
Although in,
Ready to Fight would
Draw.
help with.
it'll also help
Uncover
against
every
troublemaker
result.
face-offs. Although in this case, I don't think Bugle is going to have too much trouble winning problem face-offs.
Right. Yeah, combined with the blackmail in play, the Ready to Fight's a really unfortunate problem at this moment.
I have 3 AT right now.
Okay, and cards in hand?
He's got no choice but to
5.
try and confront the
Cards in
blackmail.
hand. And 2 T-Rex rings are in the discard pile.
And at 10
Yep.
power to confront, it's a really high wall.
So you have 8 AT next turn.
Yeah, so he has 7 power there already.
Let me think here.
Yeah, he can, except for the Oizodal is of course blocking the Ready to Fight. He can confront that, but the Oizodal needs to go away first.
Right. And there is 7 total blue on the field. Scoots is just at the opposite problem.
Uh-oh, dilemma time? The problem got moved. That's never a good thing. Grandpa's in a bit of a situation here.
Hmm. 5.
It's not Christmas yet. What's this red-nosed pony doing?
Looking the wrong way, nonetheless.
Speed movement would be okay. Should get 7.
Seems very angry about her new clown nose.
8, 9, 10.
And more pony math.
Okay.
Uh-oh, a plan has been formed.
All right.
I will spend 1 and I will play a troublemaker to blackmail.
Sounds great.
I'll spend 3 and I'll play Sakura for 2 ready.
Nice.
Okay.
Let's just sit and collect some AT since Bugle's got nobody there.
For a little bit. Keep in mind there is an Oizodal there.
Oh, it will move everybody back at the start of at the end of the troublemaker phase, correct?
Pass the
So maybe 1 AT.
Passing the turn. Okay. I'll gain 5. Maybe this turn. I'll draw a friend that has text on it, other than the one Rutherford. Or I guess the double diamonds.
I was going to say you drew double diamonds.
Okay, that's a card.
What kind of card is it?
I'll pay 1 to draw.
Sure.
That's a
Possibly a
card.
good sign for Grandpa's here, but
Does Zakora read end of the turn or end of the score phase?
End of turn.
Okay.
Now, why would he be asking that? What would be the distinction?
And you have 2 AT?
I have 2 AT.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, what would it matter if it was end of turn versus end of score phase? For the AT collection.
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, nothing important's getting done yet. Pay 1 to draw a card. No, pay 1 to draw a card.
That's some digging
Pay
there.
1 for Wonderbolt Stadium.
Certainly have the AT to do it,
Sure.
but
I believe that brings you down to 3 AT, is that correct?
4 AT.
Let's see, you were at 8, and you pay to draw, pay to draw, pay to draw, and then play 1 for Wonderbolt Stadium. Should bring you down to 4 AT, that's correct.
We'll go one deeper. Pay 1 to draw 1. Okay. That's at least
the reason
something.
that was relevant is because if Bugle can manage to cause a DFO, Zakora will not get an action token.
No, right. Because this score phase, she wouldn't, at the end of the score phase, she would, at the end of the turn, she would no longer be there.
Correct.
Yep. But then if you could DFO, you would be scoring a
So I
point
could
on that.
score a
Oh,
point.
the dilemma.
Prevent you from
That's
scoring a
true.
point and get a lot of
That's
stuff right.
okay. Now it makes sense.
Not
Bugle
necessarily
has
the best use of my
3
time.
more
or just
dilemmas,
let
I
you have
believe.
this point. I think we'll exhaust Stadium, pay 1. We'll play Night Glider to Ready to Fight.
Sure.
And we'll pay 2 to play Bulk Biceps, get Swole, also to Ready to Fight.
Sounds
Score
good.
phase, I will score nothing. End of
Correct.
turn, I have a trigger. I will move both of my friends at home to Ready to Fight. You will
Okay.
have a trigger.
I will
Piling
have
up
2
on
triggers.
Aoizotl there.
I'm going to trigger Blackmail,
Fair enough.
and I'm going to score a point.
Yeah,
Bring me
so
up
up
to
to
9,
9.
and then I'm going to trigger Zakora, and we can go up to 3.
Okay.
Okay. My turn.
Let's
Yep.
see what Grandpa's
Okay.
has here.
So that will put me up to 8, and I will draw. All right, that's all right.
And
Evidently happy with what he got there.
clearly going to want to challenge Aoizotl. So let's challenge
I'm
Aoizotl.
trying to remember what was in Bugle's discard, but he does
I do.
not have
Sorry,
his
the Queen Chrysalis.
Mac,
Scaring my Red Gallus.
Big Mac and Applejack, does
Well,
he?
one of them anyway.
Sure, fair enough. Okay,
don't
so
believe
3 versus
so.
5?
Yeah,
3 versus
Because he
7.
can get an immediate +1 counter.
Yes, 3 versus 7.
I'll flip it
Okay.
back, so up to 11.
So there's none in this card.
Up to 4, so I am up to 7. So I'll go
Mhm.
ahead and spend
It
2.
would be a really easy way
Okay.
to pump
Let's go
bulk
with 1 more.
biceps if you needed.
I'll flip a 4.
I'll flip a 5.
Okay, you've got it. Where has this Orchard Blossom been all my life? I've needed her the entire game.
About 10 cards down in your discard or your draw deck there. I mean, that's where the card you need always is about 10 cards down.
Now,
That puts you to 11.
it does put me to 11.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I believe that pulls them even at 11 to 11. Bugle's over here making comments about it was deeper than I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. It's always 10 cards
so I
deep.
have
Yep.
6 AT remaining. You have no AT remaining, but you do have
I
a
have.
Wonderbolt Stadium.
0 AT remaining.
How many cards do you have in your hand?
Should be pretty full. 7 cards in hand.
7 cards in hand. Okay.
So there is currently enough power to confront Ready to Fight there. And no, he's actually 1 short with the Zakora.
Let me think just for a moment here. I'm going to spend 1 and I'm going to draw.
Okay.
Got Grandpa sitting here doing some math.
So that would be great. I will spend 1 to draw.
Okay. Down to 4.
Yes, indeed.
This is evidently a very sticky situation for Grandpa's here. Having to expend his precious action tokens to try to dig up an answer here. With Bugle, well, he can't currently confront it, but I'd imagine
in my mind is just if you have a buck ball.
All right.
If I have a buck ball.
Yeah. If you have a buck ball, we'll bring you down to 4 AT. You need to spend 2 more. You move Scootaloo. You're confronting that. You still need 1 more friend. I really do need to be able to do this.
getting 5 action tokens,
So,
as well as the Wonderbolt Stadium.
Up to blackmail.
So Bugle
Moving
should
forward
be
up
able to
to
do
black.
that easily.
Okay. 2
Okay.
AT remaining.
2 AT remaining. I'll pass the turn.
Okay. That makes things interesting. I'll go gain 5 AT.
Sure.
Draw a card. Okay. That's a good card to draw here.
Huh.
It's kind of unfortunate we can't see what their hands are.
Right. Just wishing I could do that.
Is there a better way to do this? I don't think so.
Bugle correctly points out that due to the way we were streaming, they actually can't show us their hands, or their
Well, I only
opponent will
have
be able
one
to see them
play.
as
If
well.
you have the Magicite, you have the
Ah.
Magicite. Exhaust, pay 1, we'll play Buckball.
Let's see, Grandpa's has a
Okay,
magical
sure.
misfire in hand, however, which is going to come in very relevant
Two
shortly, I
Scootaloo
believe.
to Buckball.
Okay.
Yes, indeed it will.
And 2 to play Mac and Jack to ready to fight.
That, however,
Okay.
might deal with it.
And do we see Magicite?
What you're going to see.
Oh,
Is-
we're going to see portaling Zecora to Buckball? That
No,
would
you're
be
going to see
funny.
a magical misfire. So I'm going to
Oh, okay.
banish your discard pile.
Ah, that will do it. Okay,
And then I'm going to draw a card.
sure. Ah, had I thought of that, playing Mac and Jack to Buckball would have been an interesting situation there. Okay, well, I will still be moving to score phase.
Well, yeah, clearly. I'm only doing that in response to the
Yeah.
score phase.
And we will confront ready to fight.
You got it?
12. Pass.
Okay. Up to 6.
And there it is.
Let's draw for turn.
Okay.
Interesting.
What's the wild confront wreck on Buckball for me?
I do kind of
It
wonder,
is
though,
4.
It is
Yeah.
4.
if
Okay.
Bugle would have been able to...
Yeah, so long as you
that does
wind
say
up
friends.
with 4
It's
AT remaining,
unfortunate.
you should be able to win this game.
Which says friends?
All right.
The Big Mac and AJ,
Sure.
Oh,
might
yeah.
think,
Let's
you might think that
challenge
he could
Green
use the
Chrysalis.
abilities on that.
Okay.
However,
Twilight
that only
Chrysalis.
works on Felt.
Randomly
Yeah,
exhaust
no, it's
Twilight.
Scootaloo.
Yep. Let's go to flips.
I will flip trash. So
I flipped a 4. Okay.
you're
So-
currently down 6.
I am currently down 6.
So somewhat
Let me think
unfortunate
about the
for
tier for a moment.
Grandpa's. Twilight can reduce the Troublemaker to 0, but not into the negatives.
Spend 3.
Right.
So the best he can do here is tie. And then we are, or he is hoping that he flips a higher card than
You're
Bugle.
at 12 points, is that correct?
I'm at 12 points.
Okay. Let's do 4 instead. And move that home. This is tricky. I'm not going to spend it. I'll send Twilight.
Okay, Twilight goes home.
You have a buff ball.
Grandpa's in a very unfortunate position here indeed.
And once again, you are out of AT, correct?
0 AT. I had to spend it all to try for the DFO.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Linus Clown knows migrating around the playmat, of course. Bugle is
Well-
currently in the lead by 1 point, 12 to 11. So he has game on board if he can pull off a double confront, because it is highly unlikely that he's going to lose the DFO.
That could potentially work.
I kind of want to chide the two of them for not having like
Okay.
a pen somewhere on the field so we can continue the hollow tradition of pen versus mat.
All right.
Cards in hand?
6.
6 cards in hand. Okay.
Yes.
And the buckball's on the field, which is fine. What is your total power at Ready to Fight?
Counting or not counting the
No kind of
competitive?
competitive.
Okay,
Okay.
not counting the competitive, it is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Okay, 10 power.
Slightly more than the 6 plus 3 necessary.
One
6
is
of that power
sufficiently
is blue,
above.
and 6 of that power is orange.
I'll
Yeah, this
play
is a
that
rough
for
spot. I
you.
can't think of too many
Not
options that are
visible.
in the deck from this point.
Yeah. The second Zakora here being interesting.
Oh.
Bugle can match that with a single additional card. Because most of the things in
I'll
his
spend 1
deck
place in
are.
attack.
Okay.
This is also the thing that you're probably thinking here is, man, it'd be great to drop a villain there and scare everything. Unfortunately, I think it is a little bit too late for that.
Grab an enforced equality.
Makes sense.
So the problem here
Now, looking back through Grandpa's deck,
is many fold.
If I remember correctly, there's nothing to immediately play a Troublemaker face up.
If you play the Troublemaker, you don't have enough
I
for
do
the
not
magic
believe
fight.
so.
Oh, there's only one Magicite in the deck.
I'm looking at it now. I
Oh,
don't see
wow.
anything.
Other cards I can play at 180 though.
To be able to put that Enforce Equality straight up would have been awesome.
Play a Troublemaker down.
Yeah. The
Okay.
key
Okay.
thing
To,
that
ready to fight, I'm assuming.
Yes, to ready
the
to
thing
play.
that Grandpa needs right now,
Ready.
though, that should get him out of this
580.
is the
5. Draw
Awkward
one.
silence.
Okay.
one remaining copy of Awkward Silence, I believe. That's a long shot, but Bugle points out that napcakes may also help here.
This is actually tricky right now. So the card I have to play around here is Napcakes.
So Bugle had 10 there, and another 2-power friend will bring him up to exactly enough to confront that.
And maybe I can?
Also worth noting that Scoodle is
math,
back down to 3
okay.
power because of the magical misfire,
Currently I have 10.
meaning that
at
he's
one
not
problem.
confronting Buckball right now.
I need
Also
12,
correct.
theoretically 14.
She. I said he.
Now the other problem, I am down 1. If I do that, and I do that.
Yep, we're getting into the portion of the game where both players are sitting there counting
Right.
every single action token. Bugle sitting here and doing a bunch of math now.
Yeah, being able to retire Mac and Applejack would be amazing if those counters could go on a character.
That would get a little bit silly.
It would give it a counter each, so the 2-power would stay, and then it could banish it, or he could banish it from the discard to get a 3rd-power 1+1 counter. Then it would just take a 2-powered friend.
Okay, I'm going to
And DFO.
Retire Mac and Jack and put 2 counters onto both biceps.
Sure, sounds good.
I'm going to exhaust Wonderbolt Stadium and pay 1 to play Lyra to Buckball.
All right, that'll bring him up to confront power there.
Playing which friend? I'm sorry.
Lyra.
Oh, sure.
Orange Ranger.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
fine.
Still
Yeah,
down
that's fine.
2 power
Okay.
on ready to fight.
I will retire Mac and Jack
Correction.
to put a counter on Lyra.
I believe you mean banish Mac and Jack.
Yes, banish Mac and Jack. Put counter on Lyra.
Okay, sounds fine.
I'll pay 2. Actually, do I pay 2? I think I pay 3. Yeah, we pay 3 for Orchard Blossom to ready to fight.
Yep.
So 6 power at Buckball.
Okay. I
6
think
power
I
at
have gotten
Buckball.
around the nap cake
That is
situation.
immune to
I
nap
will
cakes.
Bank 1 and move to Squirtface.
And I believe both
Ah.
problems are in fact immune to nap cakes.
I will attempt to confront ready to fight
Yep, that's fine.
and attempt
Well,
to confront Buckball.
Before
Okay,
the
that's fine.
face-off happens,
14,
the
okay,
Night Glider is still
and
vulnerable.
face-off.
Okay, Let's go to flips.
It is, but he's got the blue power to do it.
Buckball.
I'll flip
Right,
my
right,
six.
because
I had
Bulk
actually
has plus
put
2
all
power
the
now.
cards I needed
4
from
blue.
earlier in this game, and in retrospect, playing the Zakura was probably a mistake. I should have just done for the second one. There's one other card that could have stopped you at 1 AT. Can you think of what it was?
Brings Bugle to 14
One other
points,
card
and
could
once
have
he
stopped me
wins
on 1
the
AC.
face-off here,
At
that will
immediate
take him to
speed?
15 and hand him the game.
Not necessarily at immediate speed, but in the situation we're at right now.
Oh, yes, it is awkward silence.
Yes, it is. Yes. And the next awkward silence was going to be rather far down.
About 10 cards down.
There it was. Yeah, 5 cards down. So
That's
The
10.
proverbial
It
10.
was
Okay,
basically a turn swinging back and forth. Very close.
that was very, very close, yeah. Did you have the nap cakes, by the way?
No, that was both of them there on top of the deck.
Oh, okay.
Very
10.
interesting, swinging back
Yeah,
and forth, as he said.
There it
I was
is.
thinking about it. The only way I could play around
6.
it was to
Also
use
known as
Mac
10.
and Jack, but
Yes.
if I played the Lyra and then you nap caked immediately, then I no longer. Well, no, I wouldn't have needed to get both of them above threshold. That's fair. Oh, that was scary though.
Yeah, it was close. Had I not lost the face-off against Chrysalis by quite as much, and had been able to pour a little more AT into it, that may have been better.
Yeah, because needing to pay 3 to tie when you needed 4 to move over wasn't
Right. No,
the
if I could've-
situation.
No, absolutely not. There's no way I would have paid 3 to do that. I would have paid 3 to win. Like that would have been fine. Had I been up by 1, I would have paid 3 to win, and then made it.
All right, so Bugle and Grand Pause. What do you guys think about that? Comments from after the match?
Weird things with confronting. Well, that was a game, huh?
It was a game.
That was a really interesting game because,
Potentially done interesting things.
like, you weren't getting your AT gens, and as I mentioned, I wasn't getting friends with text, other than the discarded 2.
Not until later, anyway.
Right, not until later.
I think what I was referring to was this was a game of momentum shifting. It didn't stay firmly in control of just one player the entire time. I
Right.
had a very strong opening hand and then drew into very few disruptive tools when you actually got online. And your opening hand was quite weak, but you eventually ended up drawing into multiple dilemmas at very opportune times. It was within 1 turn, either way, back and forth. So
Yes.
I like those games.
Yeah, my opening hand, it had 3 entry, a dilemma, no, 3 entry, the bailout, and the 2 double diamonds. And I'm like, well, at least it has double diamonds.
Especially when you can just like.
I mean, you did get them in the discard pile, and they were there for a while at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, had I thought about the misfire there, that second to last turn, if I had played Mac and Jack to Buckball, I could have tried to DFO that way. But,
Yeah.
you know, hindsight is 2020.
For sure. I, for example, recognized I should have never played that second Zakora. Playing Zakora to that other problem, or to Ready to Fight specifically, did almost nothing because you would only need a single 2-power character, so literally any friend would have done it for you. And I could have dug another 3 cards deep. In this case, it wouldn't have necessarily helped. Well, it would have gotten me napcakes.
Would have gotten you the nap cakes, but
Yeah.
I did play around the nap cakes.
Well, you played around 1 napkakes. Both of them were there on top.
Oh, this is true.
I think, though, we would both agree the real moment, the real pivotal moment in the game was flipping the mysterious disappearance and banishing the study session.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
That
flipped
was,
2 trashs, which is my only real way of dealing with study session. So, yeah.
Take what you can get.
Chaos giveth, chaos taketh away.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Would you replace, after having this happen, the mysterious disappearance for a special beam cannon?
Probably. I was actually running 2 sources of resource removal in this deck. I was running Mysterious Disappearance, but because I knew what sort of powerful resources could exist in a blue-orange deck, which could include things like Appaloosa, Wonderbolt Stadium, 2 bits, things along those lines, I actually included a single copy of Rest in Pieces as well.
Ah. to play
Fair
at immediate
enough.
speed.
Fair enough.
I also wasn't sure whether or not the friends he was playing were going to be low power or high power. So it was a tricky choice, but I figured one copy of Rest in Pieces was probably fine.
So
Well,
you also
they were supposed to be high power, but that's not quite how it worked out.
No, it's not. Most of them were vanilla.
So you had said at the beginning of the match, Grandpa's, that you included a Destiny Drain in there.
I did. And the main reason I included Destiny Drain is I knew that Orange had a lot of discard synergies with things like Bailout or potentially Apple Bloom or even other cards. There's a number of different tools that work well. And Double Diamond, for instance. And
Yeah.
even though it's not a combo deck, Destiny Drain is a very good card if you've got the color requirement and the AT that you can spare to play it, to just remove a very key component of your opponent's strategy.
Yeah, if you can take, say, the Night Glider out permanently of the game, that's going to buy you a little bit of breathing room.
I actually don't think Night Glider's the target there. I mean, maybe you go for Night Glider, but I
The
think if he
dilemmas-
could hit Tyrix, he would go for
Yes,
Tyrix.
the dilemmas are the preferred target here, but just as an example, Night Glider.
And Double Diamond as well. Once that got removed from the discard pile, Scootaloo slowed down significantly.
Well, it became more difficult anyway.
Because if
Yeah.
Scootaloo was, even 4-powered, the dilemma would have been confronted in the Buckball pretty easily.
Now, I'll tell you, just because it's kind of funny, when I was playing that Magical Misfire, I had actually forgotten that that was going to reduce the power of your Scootaloo. I was just hoping to have an extra card draw into hopefully finding a Napkicks.
I have a feeling,
really?
Actually.
Really?
Nice.
But when you banished the Double Diamonds, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I don't
Yeah.
need to play a
I'm
Napkicks,
I'm
which is good because I don't have one anyway.
like totally smart and totally intended that to be
Absolutely, 100% intentional.
Yes. Yep.
That's why I played that card right there.
Yep.
But that was honestly a really fun game to play. It was cool to see the back and forth. It was nice to see the game be neck and neck down to the end. And if you looked with what was on the board as well, there was a 3-power Troublemaker plus problems that would have been I would have been capable of confronting. So had it swung one more turn in the other direction, it very easily could have gone in a different way.
I believe you mean 3-point Troublemaker.
Did I say 3-power?
You might
Yes.
have.
3-point Troublemaker. That Troublemaker was 0 power. Let's be realistic.
I think it was 6 power.
Maybe for a brief moment. Go ahead and blink and clear your eyes, and you'll see it's actually 0 power again.
Well, it was 6 power. You were thinking, do I want this to be a 6-power Troublemaker or 0 power? And you decided 6.
Yeah, I still maintain that that was the correct decision.
It
was not gonna
definitely
be worth
was
it.
correct. It
Yeah.
definitely was.
But that was a really fun game, and I was very glad to have the opportunity to play Ag Studies against something a little unconventional.
Well, yeah. I'm a fan of Scootaloo Orange. I actually brought it to BronyCon to play casually, though I never got the chance. I gave it to Ivory, though, to participate in one of the Harmony challenges at BronyCon, and I believe he did well with it. I don't remember how well, but he did well with it, and he liked it enough to play it in the block, not championship, block showdown at Gen Con. Because aside from the Carbo Loader and the Lyras and Red Galas, it is block compatible.
It's nice to see a couple of aggro decks like that right now. You've got decks like Hot Wings that are very close, minus the problem deck, and then you've got, Scootaloo Orange, and even Ag Studies can work in block, sort of.
Spookum McCookum
Spookum
works in
McCookum,
block.
yep, it's very close. You've got kind of the orange, white, purple Troublemaker control variants. Not necessarily full Cruel Taskmistress, because obviously Cruel Taskmistress isn't
Cool
block legal.
mistress.
Well, the actual card I'm referring to is not
Yeah,
block legal.
indeed.
A lot of cards in the toolbox control decks aren't really compatible.
Well, sure.
So Bugle, what was the thinking behind having just a single Carbo Loader?
I had one slot to fill.
Why not?
I had a 44 card deck, and Carbo Loader's a good card.
That makes
It's good.
sense.
It's good justification.
Well, I was wondering if it was part of an overall strategy, but then including a single card wouldn't really do that. But he did have his vanilla entry, except for Lyra, was ponies with Red Gala.
Yeah. I'll let you in on a secret. It's not actually supposed to be a Carbo Loader. It's supposed to be a Captain Jack.
Ah,
But when I built the deck, I didn't have any Captain Jacks, so I just proxied it with something similar that I did have.
that makes much more sense.
And that is also like good in case I decide to play it for reals or whatever.
Yeah.
And I forgot to make the swap before yesterday.
So it was totally intentional. Yes. Mm-hmm.
That being said, though, I think Carbo Loader was going to do more work for you in that matchup than Captain
Oh
Jack
yeah,
would.
absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think playing Catajack in that matchup would have just been self-defeating.
Well, not that it mattered. I flipped it.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Man, I had both of us had a lot of flips that we're like, why did we flip that?
It's like-
Yep, you saw 2 bailouts go flipped as well as the Carbo Loader. I saw 2 of my Spike Ticket letters as well as both of my Napcakes eventually.
I saw
And-
2 trashes, one
Yeah.
before you one before you banished your study session, one after. But I'm sure there's another study session. So
There are 2.
yeah. I saw the Orchard Blossom. I saw the Apple Bloom. Like I saw a lot of cards that would have liked to have played.
I think you both saw a lot of cards getting flipped that you really would have liked to have in your hand instead.
But that's one of those things that makes these games so interesting is you really have to adapt on the fly and figure out what you're going to do, and that's one of the cool things is you can, if your deck is built in the proper way, adjust your play strategy or adjust your play tactics, rather, I should say, in a single given situation based on what tools you have to work with. Twilight is farming to win, but can swap over to control if the need arises. And at the end, it did. I just didn't have the tools to, push through to the very end. And Scootaloo can normally go super fast, but when she needs to, she can stockpile huge power up at problems and can even give farming a bit of trouble with the Carbo Loader that's there.
And the 15 Earth Ponies that comes with it.
Yeah, there's a few Earth Ponies there.
I mean, provided
Some
you
of them
don't
are even stubborn.
But you ran 15 of them. I just counted.
flip the Carbo Loader.
Yes,
Yeah,
that one.
there you go. The flipped Carbo Loader. It's so powerful.
So with that, though, that was a really good match, and it's something that we're definitely looking forward to doing again, like I said. As a reminder to any viewers who enjoyed this matchup, this was a matchup that was selected by our patrons. We had ideas of different decks we wanted to play, but we did not make the selection on our own. You did. You voted. You got what you wanted. Or most of you did. We hope you did. We hope you're happy with it. And if you would like to be involved in the future creation of content, you are absolutely able to do so. Commentary is Magic has a Patreon page with multiple different tiers of rewards, including the ability to work with us to create your own featured live stream, to be able to provide input through voting on the various polls that we post, to join us in Slack and just discuss anything you'd like about the game. And every little bit helps us put on content like this and other events in the future, such as live streaming directly from tournaments.
More featured duels like this one.
Or crazy formats like Blitz Ponies,
Iron Chef Ponies.
Iron Chef Ponies. I am looking forward to that one.
I don't know. I'm personally way more partial to Blitz Ponies, but maybe that's just because I'm the horrible person who gets to mess with your decks before you get to run them if you don't get them done.
That might have some bearing on it.
Well, we do have some patrons at the $10 level or higher, so we're going to see some challenges soon.
Yes, we will. And thank you so much, by the way, to those patrons who will be mentioned at the end of this video. So tell us, if people would otherwise like to provide feedback to us or get updates as to what videos we'll be producing in the future, what are the best ways to do that?
Well, as you'll take a look in chat, we have a Facebook. We've got an email if you don't do social media. We've got a Twitter, and we, of course, have the Patreon page. And for those of you who are Patreons, you can bug us in Slack, too.
With that, though, Bugle, congratulations on your win for this first featured duel.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was very, very close. Like, I did not know how that was going to end. For the longest time, I thought for sure I was a goner with that starting hand.
Well, just
And
goes
we'll
to,
have.
just
Sorry,
goes
go
to
ahead.
just goes to show. Shouldn't give up just by looking at that opening hand. You never know where it goes.
That's right.
Don't judge a deck by its opening hand.
Something
Or a
like
game.
that.
I mean, I might do it a little bit. Regardless, thank you to all our viewers. We really appreciate it. And we will have updates for you soon on the next few weeks of content. Until then, let's go ahead and give a special thank you to our patrons.
Thank you. You're why we
Thank
get to
you.
do this. You help.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Except for that Rob jerk.
Hey,
Hey, he
Princess
is
Rob.
best princess.
I mean, he's still a jerk.
I mean, Celestia may be a troll. Rob might be a troll too, but we still love him anyway.
might be a troll.
Okay, fine.
Okay, no, fine. Yeah, yes. We love you, Princess Rob.
Well, until next time, thank you for joining us. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
I am Emperor Bugle.
The Araket who doesn't have high blood pressure for once. And
Living Silver.
We'll see you all soon.
bye-bye.
Adios.